humans have dominated the planet for millennia, residing comfortably at the top of the food chain. We pride ourselves with our technology, built walls to shield us from the dangers lurking outside. We cultivate and shape nature, manipulate it to fulfill our needs. And from the safety and comfort of our territories, we gaze upon the beauty of nature from afar. From a distance, the vast landscapes of Hyrule are stunning, serene, calming even. But looks can be deceiving. Strip away the comforts of our civilization, and the average Hylian will soon find out the hardships of surviving in the wild. Out here, instinct and knowledge of the land dictate the chances of survival, which resources are valuable or safe for consumption, and which are better left untouched. How to brave the diverse and harsh climates, and perhaps more importantly, how to interact with the many creatures roaming the wastes. Hyrule is absolutely brimming with life, from the smallest of rodents to the majestic wild horses of the plain. Wolf packs bonded together in search for prey. The intimidating and fierce grizzly bear, some friendly, some hostile, all living in harmony with their environment. But there is something else living here as well, a species which stands out from the rest of the animal kingdom due to a general higher intelligence, coordination, and thus intimidation factor. So much so that they are classified in a category of their own, separate from the other wildlife. You and I know them as monsters. Fitting, really. It's a term often used by us humans to describe something we don't fully understand, something vile or cruel which sparks fear and seemingly operates with no conscience or emotion. Savage, primitive. But is that truly the full picture? Or is there more to these critters than meets the eye? Perhaps misunderstood even. Today we take a closer look at one such creature, a familiar face found in every corner of Hyrule, from the highest of mountains to the grassy plains of Nikluda, the Bokoblin. For the last weeks we have studied these beings extensively from a safe distance, analyzed their behavioral patterns, traditions, and interactions with their surroundings. Bokoblins are naturally hostile to humans, cross their paths or get in the way of their prey, and they won't hesitate to use brute force. Amongst their own kind, and even other species of monsters, however, they are very much social creatures like ourselves. It is extraordinarily rare to encounter a lone Bokoblin on your travels. Rather, they prefer to operate in groups or tribes, making them even harder to approach or interact with. Like us, they have realized the concept of strength in numbers. But we need to learn more. Taking notes and spying on them from a safe distance doesn't grant us a true and honest insight into their true nature. In order to truly understand the Bokoblin, we must attempt to make contact, live like them, and learn the nature of their ways through close interaction. But how? Their hostility towards our species serves as roadblock to conduct a proper study. That is why in the lead-up to our quest for knowledge, we have devised a strategy to overcome the barriers separating us from them. Using the latest in stealth technology, we have conducted a clever disguise based on our current understanding of the creature. One which hopefully will allow us to fool our subjects into accepting us as one of their own. But looks aren't everything, of course. Body language is equally as important to achieve our goal of blending in. Notice the hunched-over stance, arms stretched out to the side to mimic the neutral position of the Bokoblin. This is an essential part of the disguise. Break character, and one might risk the disguise falling apart, of which the consequences could be dire. All that is left now is to wait for the break of dawn, as tomorrow we put our strategy to the ultimate test. Sunrise. A new day dawns in Hyrule, and we are ready to start our research. For our experiment, we have chosen the Great Plateau as the most viable location. Its secluded nature acts as its own little ecosystem, separate from the rest of land. Bokoblin's camps are plentiful in this area. Some small, some large. Some seek shelter, while others prefer to sleep under the stars. Our target is this camp right here, up on the ridge close to the ruins of the Temple of Time. It's one of the medium-sized camps out here, consisting of a total of 3 inhabitants, tucked away on this remote cliffside. A perfect way to study our subjects undisturbed. Carefully we make our approach. Please remember that this is a high-risk operation performed by a trained professional. Thus, we must insist that one does not attempt this on their own. It seems the Bokoblins have spotted us. This is the moment of truth. So far, so good. No signs of hostility yet. Instead, fascination and curiosity reign supreme. Who is this stranger crossing into our domain? Why is he here? After some careful assessment, the Bokoblins return to their daily routine, seemingly unfazed by their otherworldly visitor. The disguise works, but we are far from getting accepted into their ranks. Right away, we notice a hierarchy within the clan. Notice the dark grey skin tone and the war paint on the body of this particular specimen. A clear sign that he is calling the shots around here. The other 2 rotate shifts, fulfilling their duties in service of the tribe. Hunting, guard duty, cooking. It's a fascinating display of teamwork, really. One of the first things we learn is that Bokoblins don't seem to bother with names. Well, not vocally anyway. For convenience sake, we've decided to assign each their own name to avoid confusion. Gray, their chief in command, Red, and Larry. That night, we weren't allowed to sleep at the campfire. Gray simply wouldn't allow it. Who can blame them, really? In their eyes, we are an intruder, a strange and unusual visitor from foreign lands. In general, the different tribes living on the plateau don't seem to interact much. They mostly stick to their own kind, respecting each other's territory. It's something Hyrule's developed races could take notes from. Our histories are rich with the desire to expand our lands, to take it by any means necessary, even by force. Bokoblins don't seem to share this lust for power. As long as there's food on the table, a place to sleep, and companionship, they are content to live simple lives out here in the wild. Tomorrow, we must find a way to win the hearts of the tribe and gain the trust of their leadership. Let's hope our attempt is fruitful. At the break of dawn, while the others are out hunting, we gather some materials as a show of goodwill to the tribe. Mushrooms, fruits, and anything else the land has to offer. Hopefully, this gesture will ease their minds a bit. Food has apparently been scarce as of late, and today the hunting party once again returns empty-handed. Upon laying eyes on our offering, the group seems rather hesitant at first, but quickly realizes that any food is better than nothing at this point. Despite our gift, Gray still seems suspicious of us. However, Larry has seemingly opened up to us a bit, as we indulged in some brief conversation. At night, we were even allowed to stay for a while and join in on the chit-chat. Of course, their language is not one we currently understand, so some nods and some basic hand signals will have to do for now. But alas, one offering won't reward us a spot at the warm campfire just yet, and we return to our secluded sleeping spot under the trees to get some well-deserved rest. For the next few days, we repeat the same daily routine of looking after the camp, while the others are out hunting. We gather up materials, polish and repair weaponry, cook up some basic food, and try to keep the campsite clean. We continue to bond with our newfound friend, and we even got to join Larry on guard duty, which was a nice change of pace from the usual busy work. At night, we routinely join the group for some small talk, until we are once again sent back to our usual spot as the outsider we still are. Until one morning, we are woken up by none other than Gray, who offers us to join the hunting party today. It seems our hard work has finally paid off. With almost a week without a successful hunt, the situation is getting more dire, and it seems even Gray realizes they will all need the help they can get. This might be our chance to finally prove ourselves. As not to lose daylight, we immediately set out for the nearby forest. The boar roaming these woods have dwindled in numbers and are more skittish than ever before, making them harder and harder to catch. In order to cover more ground, the group decided to split up. Gray and Red try their luck up north, while Larry joins us as we continue westward into the dense forest. Bokoblins have found many different ways to hunt their prey. Some resort to a stealthy approach, while others give chase and try to corner their prey like a pack of wolves. Some have even been seen riding various animals to take advantage of their speed. They craft their own weaponry, like wooden bows, shields, clubs and spears. And although simplistic and primitive in design, they get the job done when it comes to survival in the wild. The fact that they are able to tame wildlife and craft weapons shows that they are far more evolved than many had initially guessed. But we must keep our focus on the task ahead. If we manage to bring home something good, we might finally be accepted into the tribe. So far, the hunt has been fruitless. Larry decides to search along the cliffside, while we wander deeper into the forest. It looks like this might again turn into a failed hunt. Until finally, a wild boar rears its head amongst the tall grass. This is it, our one chance. We feasted. After weeks of no success, this meal came as a gift from the heavens. The mood of the tribe that night is one of great joy and celebration. Larry and Red express their thanks, and even Gray seems to have changed his tone for the better. Our many days of hard labor, bonding, discipline, and today's triumph has earned us a spot at the campfire. Gone are the days of being an exile. In the days ahead, we continue to hunt, gather, converse, and bond with this fascinating species. The tribe's acceptance is a reward in and of itself, but what really matters is the data we've collected during our journey. Unfortunately, this is also where our paths must diverge. As much as we've enjoyed our time with our newfound friends, we must return to our own kind. It's only a matter of time until one day they may find out who we really are. Saying goodbye is something they probably won't understand. It's a human thing after all. Instead, we shall slip away quietly into the night and hope that the tribe will understand our decision. Who knows, we might meet again someday. Perhaps we may even be able to make contact without the use of disguises and deception. But for now, our adventure ends here. Our research has shown that despite their more primitive and simplistic lifestyle, the Bokoblins have earned the right to roam these lands. For centuries, they have adapted and used their exceptional survival skills to thrive. And while they are still hostile to us humans, can we really blame them? Monsters, we call them. But perhaps, from their perspective, we are the monsters here, disturbing the peace and crossing into their territory without a care for anything other than ourselves. The various tribes living here respect each other's boundaries. They don't go to war with one another over territory or fight amongst themselves. They have their own language, culture, customs, and traditions. They hunt and tame wildlife and craft tools like we do. Though outshined by our intellect and technology, there is still plenty to be learned from the creatures roaming the wild. And perhaps, one day, we might be able to establish a more friendly relationship with them if we put our prejudice aside.